Howdy folks, Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT Radio, and thought I would do another one of these videos. It's been a little while since we've done anything, and I got news today. I was talking to the promoter of the Fright Night Film Fest in Louisville, Kentucky, Ken Daniels, and he informed me that the Fright Night Film Fest just announced there's going to be a Monster Squad reunion this year, which was surprising because the show is just a little bit over a month away, and they've got a pretty stacked lineup of people. You can go check out the website, frightnightfilmfest.com. Bruce Campbell's going to be there. I think Sean Astin and Corey Feldman are both going to be there from the Goonies, so I'm looking forward to that. Just a huge, I cannot remember everybody that's coming, but check out frightnightfilmfest.com, and you know, it's quite an astonishing guest list, I'll say that. It's going to be huge this year. But thinking about that and the Monster Squad thing, which I think Ryan Lambert, who I think he's only done one other show, and Andre Gower and Stephen Mott, who is Andre Gower's dad in Monster Squad, who I've never seen do a show, by the way. They're the ones they've announced, and I know that the Horror Hound Weekend show coming up in September has a few more, so it looks like my poster is going to be pretty damn complete when it's all said and done. And that being said, though, talking about the Monster Squad, I thought, hey, why not do a Monster Squad collection video of all of the Monster Squad crap that I've got? And a couple things I couldn't get out, or I have no idea which exact spot they are. That's the sad thing about somebody that has a gazillion fucking different little fucking things. You know, have no clue where some of this stuff ends up. But I thought that I would show and tell and give you guys a little bit of a backstory on how I got started with the Monster Squad. And it all kind of starts right here, because I didn't see this movie in the theaters. I don't think it really lasted a long time in the theaters. So it had a strong shelf life on the VHS aisle. And I can give you a brief story. My cousin, who was probably about 17 at the time when this came out, she's like 10 years older than me, so it would make sense, worked at the video store. And she was like, well, you should probably check this out because you like the Goonies. And it's kind of like that, but with just, you know, monsters. So I checked it out, and I instantly fell in love with this movie. There were some things that I didn't really understand at the time. I was a little too young or whatever. But it's one of those movies that, you know, the more you watch it, the more you just enjoy it for what it is. And if you're a child of the 80s and you haven't seen this, you are under a rock, the bottom line. But this is the VHS. This is the Vestron Video. Drop something. This is the Vestron Video VHS, and I haven't played this thing in a long freaking time, and the label is starting to come off, so I'm not going to get it out too much. Probably need to glue that back on there at some point. But Vestron was a really popular video label back in the day, and you know, for a long time, we thought that this, and this one other item I'm about to show, would be the only way we would ever get to see Monster Squad. And kids that, I don't want to say kids, but some of you younger guys out there in your early 20s and stuff like that, you probably just don't remember a time where this movie was kind of, you know, inaccessible to get. But I can definitely remember the time, because this VHS tape would go upwards $30, $40 on eBay easily, you know, especially if you had one that was in decent condition, you know, the case and everything. So for the longest time, this was the only way to see the Monster Squad, or at least the only halfway affordable way to see the Monster Squad. If you're really a baller and a shot caller, then you would have this edition. Now, this is the Laserdisc edition from Image Entertainment that came out the exact same year, or maybe I think it was the exact same time as the VHS. Um, and this one is I think there is a Japanese Laserdisc that would go for like $200+ on eBay back in, for the pre-release DVD came out, because I think that was in widescreen. That was a widescreen presentation of Monster Squad. This is still full screen, but this was digital. So this was a great way to watch the movie. And this one right here would also go for $100 easily, pre-2007. So, and this is a big part of the history, I guess, too, because for the longest time online, I can remember the late 90s, early 2000s, people were like, Laserdisc doesn't exist to the Monster Squad, but it did, although it was really freaking rare. I mean, could you imagine going into a store and actually seeing the Monster Squad on Laserdisc back, in the 80s? I couldn't. I couldn't see that. But it was out there very briefly. And this is it. And you want to look at the back of it. It's pretty much similar to the VHS. I know I haven't done a whole lot of videos on Laserdiscs. What the hell, I'll open it up. And if anybody doesn't know what a Laserdisc is, which there's a possibility, I guess. You pull this case out, and in here houses a gigantic disc, and this is a Laserdisc. This half a movie on each side. That's how they did things. You can actually go back on YouTube, because we've been around YouTube forever, and see our review of Monster Squad, which we were so hyped about this release in 2007. We made kind of a mini movie about getting this thing into review. And this was the 20th anniversary of the Monster Squad. Yeah, it's not perfect as far as the case design and stuff like that, but as far as the release itself, we couldn't have asked for a better release. And this is what we got from Lionsgate, with, I guess the slipcover version is a little difficult to come by now, but this is how it was originally released in 2007 with the slipcase. It's a 2-disc edition, and the first disc has the updated artwork that looks a little bit like Indiana Jones or something with the Goonies. And then you got Dracula on the second disc. And this was a big thing. I actually have the poster artwork in here too. This was a big release. And we were fortunate enough to be the ones to break the news on this coming to DVD. We were the first ones back in 2007. And we were so excited because I'd never seen the movie in widescreen. I'd never seen a remastered edition of this film. And especially bonus features. Michael Slipcase Felcher, who's a friend of DEADPIT, did a documentary 5-part retrospective on the Monster Squad. So they re-released this on Blu-ray, which I also have. For folks that are interested, this is out of print. And if there are any in stock left on Amazon or whatever, once those are gone, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. So for the folks that want the Blu-ray, I suppose it goes for the DVD too, because Lionsgate lost the rights to the rights go over to another company. And that's news from Felcher, by the way. This next one here is really, I have all of these, but all of them are autographed and framed, but I don't know where the rest of them are. I couldn't find them. I think there might be 1 or 2 in my office somewhere, but this will give you an idea of what they kind of look like. This is the best photo in the whole. I do remember that. And this one's signed by Andre Gower and the Wolfman, Carl Theobald, I think is how you pronounce his name. This is one of the press photos that they released back in '87 when the movie came out. And I think it's like 10 or 12 of these, just different photos from the movie, and they're all black and white. And years ago, when I did through the mail autographs and stuff like that, I used to send them out to get signed. And they all came back out. Every one of them that I sent out came back, signed. Pretty much everybody in the movie, I have their autograph, aside from the Horace, who passed away in the late 90s. But yeah, this is just a cool little, like they would use these in newspapers and stuff to promote the movie. So I have all of these, and I just don't know where they're at. I think some of them may be in folders and stuff. Press photos are always usually in black and white. And that leads us up to these bad boys, which are probably the most valuable Monster Squad items I have. These are 11 by 14, the complete set of the lobby cards. These are full color, and you can see Dracula, the Mummy, and the Wolfman there. This next one is the Gill Man, who is kind of like the creature, but they couldn't call him that. He's attacking a sheriff or a deputy. Next one is the Squad in their treehouse, talking about, oh, Dracula's coming. This one right here is a pretty funny scene for the movie. I think it's Eugene's dad is saying, oh, there's not a monster in your closet or whatever. And of course there's the Mummy in the background. These are great photos too. I got these years and years ago. I mean, I would never, I'm a fan of the movie, but I would probably never pay what these are going for now. This one right here, of course, really cute little kid, Ashley, who turned into a pretty cute girl too, growing up. And Eugene, the two youngest kids in the Monster Squad. And Stephen Mocked, who was the dad of Andre Gower in the movie. And that'd be a cool thing for him to sign, but of course I'm getting him to sign the poster. So I think, well, no, one more. That's a great photo right there. And this guy right here is actually going to be at the Horror Hound show, so it'll be cool to get his signature finally on the poster. That's what I'm getting it on. I'll show you the poster after this too. It's pretty sweet. And here's another one, Frankenstein, with Eugene, Sean, and Horace. There you go. That's those. I think it's what, total about 8 or 6 or something like that. I don't know. Whatever the whole set was, I can't even remember. So yeah, I mean, the next thing I guess I'll go to is the poster, which is another item that's pretty much impossible to get unless you want to spend a ton of money on it. And it's a 27 by 41 one sheet, and was one of the very first posters when I started collecting that I wanted to get, because it's just an amazing design. I mean, it's I'm not sure who designed this poster, what their name, I think it has the name Craig up there. It's just like one of the most iconic like 80s posters of that time period, and easily still one of my favorite all-time posters in my entire collection. And you guys have seen my collection. The posters were signed by Andre Gower, who we met in 2007, who was one of the nicest freaking guys. We had him on the radio show the same year, and just a great guy. And Andre Gower is going to be back again at Fright Night this year, and looking forward to seeing him again and saying hey and seeing if he actually remembers us. Also, 2010, I met Tom Noonan at a Horror Hound show and got him to sign the poster as well. And I'm looking forward on getting everybody else to sign it at Fright Night coming up and Horror Hound. So that's it. That's my Monster Squad collection. I never did buy any more of the one sheet Monster Squad posters. If I ever saw any that was a decent price, there's a couple of other ones that look pretty damn cool that I may get at some point. But nothing really beats that classic one sheet. So that's it for the video, folks. Hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to check out the website, FrightNightFilmFest.com. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. June 29th through July 2nd, I think. And check us out, of course, at DEADPIT.com.